right, greetings. Thank you for joining us. All right, on this Friday night, soon to be Saturday morning. What a good night for weirdness. Weirdness is in there. This light in the background must have a defective bulb that's going to like shut off by itself. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I haven't quite put much effort into it yet. It's one of those smart lights. For some reason it keeps shutting off on its own. It works when you plug it in though for like a couple minutes. So we'll see how long it lasts. I have Alien Disclosure, Area 51, Neo in the Matrix. It's Friday night, so Neo in the Matrix. I might do another one of those tomorrow, so I'm going to do more Alien Disclosure energies. Just for, I haven't done one in ages. Of course, I did one yesterday. Jack Frost, because it's cold. It's good to turn on your heater and then turn on your fan. Or open up a window. Of course, when it's 40 below, okay, maybe not. I'm in Florida, so I don't experience any of that. Our idea of cold is 50 degrees. It's 57 degrees right now. It's pretty pathetic at this point compared to the rest of the country. And 10,000 year time loop. What does that mean? Just living the same day over and over again for 10,000 years. That's all. I'm not saying I'm putting that out there for anyone to experience that. But the movie Groundhog Day is pretty much, I think Groundhog Day was 10,000 years. That's my vibe on it. At least the version, I'm going to go, anyway, I'm going to go with that one. Living the same day over and over for 10,000 years. That's one way to get the kinks out of your armor. We're kind of living that now, where you feel like things are kind of slow, not really evolving that much. Of course, if you're doing your own project, that's a different story. You don't have enough time. So, Jack Frost, is a real being. He brought in cold energies, you can say. So we'll just see where we get with that. So. I haven't had Jack Frost visit me. Of course, I'm in Florida, so Amazon.com, we have 5 sessions. We have a scheduler here. We have a shop. I don't remember. I'm still in like early January for some people. I'm like January 8th or something, or 6th. So I didn't have time to catch up today, but tomorrow I'll have time. Hopefully, same situation here. What is this? The social network. Oh, this is the webinar. Jeez. Social network. Yeah, behind the scenes. So I guess I'm going to do more of this alien disclosure energy. Just take it. Just, I don't know if it's helpful. It's whatever it wants to be. And the Neo in the Matrix. Neo is like there's different versions of that. There's a version where he's an AI being. So we'll just kind of go with it. So I'm not trying to promote AI and all that. I'm not promoting mass mandates either. What else am I not promoting? I can't think of anything at this time. So one day, Area 51 will be a museum. In our lifetime, that's another story, though. One day, maybe not all the Air Force bases will be open, but I feel like Area 51 will be open one day. In the next 5,000 years, I hate to put that out there. Maybe the next 10,000 years. At this rate. So anyway, I'm trying to be realistic here. That's rough for some to accept. I've noticed. Yeah, you can get overly positive and unrealistic and delusional, which is very popular out there these days. Yeah, that's something. I don't know where that's going to go. I mean, nothing wrong with being very positive about the future, but you can also be unrealistic at the same time. So the next 5 years, I feel like everything's going to get better and everything's still the same. Just saying, maybe it'll improve a little bit, but the rest of the world is not. If you can heal all the cartels on the world, all the drug cartels, if you can walk around South Africa naked and not get abused, maybe we're moving into the higher dimensions. Until then, South Africa is like a war zone in some places. Same as Brazil. You don't hear about Brazil very often. Colombia. You can go on and on with that. Most of Central America is kind of not safe in certain places. So yeah, you gotta sprinkle your fairy dust in a lot of those places if you want this higher dimensional world to activate. Or you can be unrealistic and think it's all going to get better somehow, which is all good. I mean, you have a lot of Christians that go to these countries that are war zones and they can bring people to God, and they end up, things happen there where they don't survive. Just saying. So anyway, you gotta learn what you gotta learn. So okay, all right, we're going to alien disclosure. There's different ways we can go about this. Yeah, we'll see what we. Yeah, all right, we'll just keep it a surprise. Okay, wait, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the felines. We are the Lyrans. Feline beings that humans have neglected. Of course, feline beings from our star system can be a little bit aggressive because we feel like we know everything. We don't always get along with all beings, but then again, what cat ever truly does? Well, at least those that are living out in the wild, those in the jungles, have to. Aliens are the same way. We have to be on guard. Even if we're in the higher dimensions, we're still on guard. Of course, you go up the dimensions, you're still on guard. It's just the way it is. I wouldn't call it paranoia. I call it safety. Well, you just get used to it, especially when you've been through so many galactic wars. It's hard to just let that down, just give up, just, okay, everything's going to be fine. Once you're a military man or woman, it's hard to release that instantly. Yes, you can incarnate as a Palladian being and slowly release the paranoia, but it does take time. There's a long story to our lineage. We don't need to go into it here. But for alien disclosure, there has been a lot of pullback. Not that you can't have it. Area 51, yes, is like a headquarters. You can look at it in different ways. Obviously, it's one of the most controversial places on your planet. Also, Siberia. Of course, I don't see many of you in Siberia. At least not right now. Especially this time of year. There are remote places, and Area 51 was remote until it got a lot of attention. But it wanted to get attention. It wanted to be seen. If you believe it or not, there is a realistic energy of alien disclosure. It's a way of bringing out alien energy. It's like a beacon of what's to come in your future. Your movies are that talk about it. What was that movie called? Independence Day. They talked about Area 51. They fictionalized it, but they're not all that off on a lot of things either. It's so closed down at this time. Giving you a realistic connection to it is kind of impossible, but it is part of disclosure, no matter what. It is in the bloodline of it. So yes, there's different iterations of it. So yes, connect to what works for you. There's a lot of Men in Black energy there. There's just a lot of healing that needs to be done there. Paranoia from the government. Well, the government, you can say the government kind of wanted to expose itself. Because many were feeling a lot of darkness is being done there that was not right. This is why you have whistleblowers bringing it up. It's like some of the government officials didn't want to go to hell for what they're doing. I know that sounds a little strange there, but they know when a whistleblower is going to whistleblow. They're not that ignorant. Same as Snowden. So some of these whistleblowing energies are somebody knows about it. They're not that ignorant. So, and notice how Snowden is still here. Your whistleblowers at Area 51 are still alive. So it's all done for reasons. Well, it just helps you take in what is here. Of course, the rest of your society is not accepting the whole energy just yet. Well, it's a little bit too weird for most of society. Of course, if it wasn't military, it would probably be more open. But because it's military, it's closed to the public. So if it was like a town that they were just doing experiments on aliens and it just got out or something like that, and you find remnants of it, obviously, they're not going to allow that. Also, Dulce is another place, a hotbed. Through versions of disclosure, Dulce is well, we'll leave that up to you to connect with, but yes, a little bit more deadly to tap into. Obviously, it's underground for a reason. Yes, they're doing a lot of things that are disconnected from God. Because those that feel that they can control reality, and they do. And some that control reality feel they can control humanity, which they do to a certain extent. They can't control all of humanity. But some of them truly lose their humanity. As you can see that with some of your elites today. So for disclosure, remote viewing these places doesn't mean you have to go around talking about it, because obviously this is a hot topic. Some you can talk to whoever you want, but most aren't going to take it. We just aren't going to. Well, humans have a mechanism, both it's called no. For risk disclosure. Yes, the psychotic laugh or just spooked about it. Interesting, though, your Scientologists are not fully educated about all of this, but they're actually pretty. If you talk about Area 51, they might laugh about it, but also like, oh, intriguing. So they're not. You'd be surprised. Some of these, yes, cults are more open to all this than you might realize. Obviously, it's a close. Scientology is shut down for a reason, to the public for the most part. Not all, you understand. But they're actually pretty open-minded. But obviously, many don't want to go into that direction. That doesn't mean they know the secrets of Area 51. No. Well, they can connect to a version of it. But like I said, we're not promoting that. The reason we're bringing it up, it shows you those are who are open-minded, who are not. Obviously, your average Catholic isn't going to be open to all this unless they're conspiracy theories. Interesting, though, your priests are aware of the alien energy. Of course, they call them demons because it's not part of their agenda. And some of them are conspiracy theorists that do believe that it is an alien energy, but they're not going to talk about it publicly. They might within some members of their church, possibly. Some nuns are believers, if that helps you at all. Doesn't mean you can go to your local Catholic church and talk about all this. Well, they interesting though, for confession, or if you do talk to a priest, they will listen. That doesn't mean you have to do that, but they're open to it, even if they don't believe it or understanding of it. Most just don't think about it very often. Yes, if you go to your local church and say, I think Jesus was an alien, some of them would be quite open-minded to it. So say what you want about the religions. They do have some positive qualities about them. It's just that this is not something going to bring out into the public, of course. Well, because there's no proof physically, as you can see. Yes, there's Area 51. Yes, there's a lot of conspiracies around. There's extraterrestrial road. Yes, but that's still not enough. They actually want to see the alien beings walking around town, things like that, and they're actually being real, which you are working towards. You are, yes, this is the beginning stages of it's like talking about America before America is being discovered. So discussions about all this, you are building, you can say, the mythology for what's to come in the future. Greetings. I am Neo. Yes, with the Matrix. There are some realities where everyone is a computer program. You don't have to look at yourself that way if you don't want to. Uh, be what you want to be. But some are programs you can tell quite easily. Yes, there's a desktop computer typing right now what for them to say and think. Some have truly given away their power. Why they do it is different reasons. Some have been hijacked. Now, this is true. Those that are alien abducted are put into matrices like yours. That is true. I think some of you are aware of that. So that's another reason. Yeah, it's just obviously they don't talk about alien disclosure for reasons. Why do that? That's where your my labs are connected to. Hijacking souls is number one task. That's how they keep all this going, of course. And it's a mainframe. This has been done for thousands of years, though. So your my lab's been around forever. It wasn't really called my lab at the time. It's always been alien experiments and will continue to be one, of course. So for a neo of a matrix realm, there's a matrix within a matrix within a matrix within a matrix. It goes on forever. Once you figure out one, there's always another one to figure out. And going into those realms is not the easiest, but some of you have done so. In this realm, yes, this one is, you can say this is kind of like a shutdown reality. I mean, it's on life support, it's running, but it's not at its full capacity. It has been sabotaged. That's why it is the way it is. Now, your ancient history and all that, I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to talk about the modern time. As technology is brought here to build what you have today. The building, the structures is operating humanity, as you can see. It's difficult to break out of something like that, especially when you actually work in a building where people are, it's interesting. When you go to a job and work at a job, some cases where you're actually programming other people and you're not even aware of it. You're actually programming reality. But you're not sitting in front of a computer and doing it, you're just doing your job. But you'd be surprised on the astral realms, there's other things going on there. Not everybody's doing this, of course, but it does exist. Yes, you're programming other people in your reality, and there's no way to fully understand that. So some of you are making this reality work for you to hear betterment, of course. Reprogramming the reality, adding your own download links to this place. That's why some of you are here. I'm just going to say it. Some of you are here to put like a computer virus in this reality. Just for it not to work properly. Now, you don't have to necessarily see it as a negative. Some of you, you're here to distort this reality. And it's like your own thoughts can be a virus. Now, you're not a virus towards people. It's just for this reality to not be as strong as it used to be. Now, there are certain people that do this, not everybody. Some of you are just rewriting code through your thoughts for more people to realize what is here. Yes, it's a nest egg. It's and you are Not to put paranoia out there, but if you are trying to rewrite reality, you are being noticed. You are being watched, but not to worry overall. Just be yourself. It's like there's no reason to go crazy on that. But some of you are aware you're being watched, and that's a difficult one. Well, especially when you're tampering with reality. And that's where your men in black people or your agents show up. The agents of this reality do exist. And they can be more advanced than anything you've ever known. Well, it's just their program to keep this going. They might not know why they're here to do it. Does anybody ever know what reality is about? Obviously, you make it to whatever you want it to, but truly, nobody really knows why this is going on. Of course, obviously, you're here to learn and things like that, but here's another answer of nobody knows. It's just here because it can do it. Obviously, there's more to it than that. But you can say that the reason for all this is for you to find your identity. Not that you have to enjoy this reality, but you kind of make it your own. If you can't leave it, not that you have to join it, but you just make it work for you in a positive where you can help others in any form that works. Of course, digging yourself out of this reality is most important. And when you get to an energy field where you can connect to others, but realize some of you are programmers or deprogram this, but some of you have been programmers of this reality in your past. Meaning making this reality you're in now on another planet, another dimension, however you want to call it. Like a pocket dimension. Greetings. This is Jack Frost. I hope you're all snuggling today and tomorrow. The snuggles, just a bunch of snuggling. The reason for weather, well, there is a crystallized energy. It's a cleanse, and sometimes things can be over cleansed. It's like some people overdo it with drugs. Of course, yes, your weather is being manipulated to some degree, but some people want it to snow. They don't want to go to work. I'll sit in traffic, so I don't have to go to my job. There's reasons for everything. Not everybody's part is like, wait, so you don't want to get a job, so I'm stuck in traffic for 5 hours? Just because you don't want to go to work? That can happen. It's like, yes, but we want company when we're ditching school or work or whatever it might be. This is a reset for many. And understand the timelines of weather, of it's not for everybody, but there are, yes, crystal realms, diamond realities, where, yes, you have crystals and diamonds falling from the sky, but they evaporate and turn into energy. It doesn't just have a bunch of diamonds on the ground. Of course, there are realities where it does exist. It's a little bit difficult to drive with something like that, though. But a Jack Frost frequency is, yes, to cleanse. I would freeze the oceans in some places I do. Everything needs to be frozen every now and then. Maybe not everything, but most things. So it can switch out, bring in a new timeline, redo itself. It's also giving people some people a second chance. Some people are busy with work, and it helps them slow things down so they can connect with themselves. There's just a little bit of detail in all. It might not, if we feel like cold weather benefit enough people, it will occur. When you're done with this program of weather, you can obviously disconnect it, but what fun would that be? Yes, I'm not here to go into the dynamics of why your world is here to begin with. Yeah, some people say it's just a big joke, and we're just seeing if anyone starts to laugh about it. I guess when you start finding humor in everything, it does help reality. And you say these things that happen on the world. It's like, you know what? There's so many bad things happen here on this planet. It's almost comical now. It's just, we just have to laugh about it. Because if you cry about it, obviously you can't cry forever. So yes, many are having a nervous breakdown due to the world's energies. They're not always trusting their frequencies. Obviously, there's their elites are hitting the snow button right now, which is add names to some of these snow fronts for their own kicks. Especially if you're a person that named it and you also created it. Always help formulate the weather program. You have your God moment, which is kind of twisted, but it is happening. You finding out about it publicly obviously is going to be difficult. But at least in some reality, it's working like that. Let's put it that way. There are snow wars or weather wars and other realities. I don't have to go into all of that. But this is a healing cleanse. If those that want to heal, many don't want to heal. They'd rather have you snowed on than to heal. We've noticed that recently. Well, not recently, but it's come through recently. So, a reminder. So, good day. Greetings to you. Maybe Time Lord. It's a 10,000 year time loop. Actually, quite a few of you, or many of you, some of you, I've been in realities where, yes, where the day goes on forever. Now, there might be some changes. It's not like put this, the theme of your reality continues on over and over and over forever. And some of you are feeling some remnants of that. Doesn't mean you have to be here for 10,000 years. It all depends on how you look at how you would define 10,000 years. There's different ways of that. Reason we're being up, many feel like they are stuck in time. That is just an elitist program that are keeping people of. Well, some of you are connecting more to your alien connections, so you're going faster. So life is getting slower as you speed up. So you're 2 to 3 days, a week ahead, 10 days, month, a year ahead of everyone else. And of course, there's always someone here to slow things down. So it's almost like you can be in a reality where you're actually living inside of a clock. But you are in time. So technically, you are living inside of a time dimension where others can tamper with it very easily. Yes, where cloning is easier because you can't really detect the clone here because everything is so slow. It's easy to pull a fast one on humanity. Well, it's just that because your frequencies can't pick up everything that's going on around you. You can be in a whole city of clones and not even know it because it's so difficult to tap into everything. Of course, you have challenges in life. And of course, they remove that whole wording, vocabulary of, are you in a city of clones? Of course, your average society would not believe that. But then again, what program are they on? A lot of society, the program people, the matrix people are on an expired timeline or expired program. It's kind of the both same thing, meaning that the timeline, the program is old from somewhere else. It's outdated, doesn't exist anymore. But other beings have found a way to bring it here. It's like being on it's like, yes, drinking expired milk or food. It's not the healthiest thing, obviously. It makes you sick. But doesn't this reality make people sick? So it doesn't mean that you yourself are on an expired timeline, but it can mean others are. Others are. They're going through a lot of difficulties. Well, because it's like they're in a matrix they can't break out of. It's like my finances are going well, my health isn't going well, this isn't going well. Nothing's going well. What is going on here? And there's a program that has to be healed. It's not an easy one to figure out either. It's like being inside of a paradox, which many aren't really ready to connect to. It's a little bit out there. But it does exist. It does exist for most of your matrix people at this time. So there are details here that Obviously, it's not for everyone, but it does not mean it doesn't exist. Yeah, some are just connected to the New Age movement and just doing whatever is easy. When you connect to some things are just a little too strange for your average person to accept. But if you're open minded to it all, if it's in your mind as a thought and it's a little bit strange, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that it's not popular on your planet. Doesn't mean the program is not running. So the city of clones, even New York City. So New York City is not a city of clones complete, but there are places that have a lot of clone vibrations. Usually it is with a politician, though. But those are going to believe it or not. Well, obviously, because your energies here are so slow, it's difficult to detect that. I mean, they made this realm, this theater, perfectly. They put it all in the past. They keep you as outdated as possible, so you can't see where things are going. So maybe you're upgrading, but kind of like the body that you're put into isn't upgradable. It can upgrade to a certain degree, but it can't upgrade to the level that some of you want to go to. Now, some of you are finding ways around that, but that is few. The rest of society is like an old computer from the 1970s, or think about the 1800s, early 1900s, 1800s. The human body, the programming here is basically from that time period. Well, at least, obviously, this 1950s programming to a certain degree. Even during the early 1900s, many were actually quite advanced. So, obviously, you're part of the program that's not advanced. At least most are not part of it. Well, they think they are, but they really aren't. It's kind of complicated. But that's kind of the point. A chaotic timeline is supposed to not make sense. It's kind of like a puzzle timeline, where the puzzle pieces aren't. It's like you have to go through a lot to find a puzzle piece, as many of you know. To put your reality together, you have to go through challenges. Once you cross, it's kind of like a game. Once you survive that challenge, you get more information on how to put your reality together. Discover more of yourself. It's kind of like a Matrix board game here. More difficult than you realize. Yeah, some might say, sunny beaches, vacation in the future. Others of you are saying, like, that might be a false program. There are vacations, there are sunny beaches, but there's still more here to figure out. It's just a complicated world. Others are feeling like the elites are gone and all this, but it does motivate some of you to go deeper. It's like, where is all that coming from? Because this program is still, even if it is a false program, it's still going on. It has not been fully deactivated, as you can see. Deactivating this program, you kind of have to be an elitist being. Yes, but you can't mess with it too much because it will kick you out.